4.2.1 What do logic inputs and outputs look like? The selection menu of the logic blocks is selected via the Logic card tab. The selection menu of the possible logic blocks is docked on the left. On the left side, you set the logic inputs chosen from the menu Inputs. On the right side, you set the logic outputs chosen for the menu Outputs. On the right side of the logic plan, the properties of the selected item are docked vertically. The ID and type of the item are assigned automatically. General. Name. The name is later taken from the assigned object or group address. Properties. The communication objects or group addresses can be selected for inputs and outputs. The allocation of these communication objects and group addresses can also be done by drag and drop. To do this, open the Objects tab, choose the relevant communication object, virtual object, or group address, and drag it into the property field. All data point types, except date and time, can be used. The name of the assigned object or group address is adopted as the name for the input or output element. When the communication object or group address is changed, the new name is adopted in the element. Note: it is also possible to freely assign the group address. This means that any known group address can be entered directly in the field, regardless if the group address is available after an ESF file import. The group addresses and its effect should be known from the ETS project. The corresponding data point type should be taken into account. Logical inputs have one internal output per block. For the configuration of the corresponding properties, the logical input module must be selected. An input element has an internal output on the right side, which is connected to the internal input of the logic gate. Logical outputs have one internal input per block. The logical output block must be selected to configure the corresponding properties. For the logical outputs, it is possible to define a cyclic transmission. To do this, the required property must be activated and the interval time set in seconds. An output element has an internal input on the left side, which is connected to the internal output of the logic gate. This determines the position of the element. Width. The width is fixed. Height. The height is fixed. X. Distance from the element from the left edge of the logic plan. Y. Distance of the element from the top edge of the logic plan.